Chapter 41. Li Ping cryptically explained, "We don't have time to catch loaches. I got the mud on my feet in the field, and now it's time to throw the seedlings." Throwing rice seedlings. Isn't the planting in mid-April? Chen Hoxuan was curious. It was supposed to be mid-April, but today's weather was bad, so it was postponed. Li Xian explained. Then I'm so sorry, I didn't know you guys were busy, and I'm so sorry for dragging Nana to accompany me even though I didn't help you. How about this? I'll help you throw rice seedlings in the afternoon. Chen Hoxuan apologized. Li Ping waved her hand in succession and smiled, No, you can go on playing with Nana in the afternoon. Anyway, there's not much land, so breeze, and I can finish in a few days. Doing farm work is the best way to exercise, otherwise how come every farmer is strong and healthy? In the afternoon, Chen Haoxian followed Li Xian and the others to throw rice seedlings. Planting rice seedlings does not require any technology, as long as you know a few methods can be, each seedling to maintain a certain distance, when throwing a little force, so that the roots of the seedlings will suddenly burrow into the soil. Li Ping and the others used the seedling throwing method, but they chose to stand in the middle of the field and throw the seedlings one by one in order to make them grow a little more evenly and better. Chen Haoxian is the first time to throw rice seedlings. He is like a dart game, one hand flying fast to throw the seedlings. Each seedling landed in the field of the distance is very uniform, so uniform that it is like someone else to draw the grid, and then he put it down. Brother Xian, you're amazing, yo. Chen Yuna saw Chen Haoxian's fast speed and couldn't help but worship him. Chen Haoxian held his head high and proudly said, "That's right, if it's not great, can I be your brother Xian?" While Chen Haoxian was talking, his hand didn't stop, and one by one, seedlings were thrown out. Chen Haoxian feels that throwing the seedlings is not difficult, as long as he does it for a long time, he can do it without looking. Chen Yuna's family has a 5-mu field, and they started throwing seedlings yesterday, and yesterday they threw 1 mu of seedlings a day. The next day, Chen Haoxian still went to help, and to his displeasure, Chen Yuna's family had 1 mu of field near Chen Haorong's. Chen Haoxian is now rich, but Chen Haorong's family has a lot of money. Chen Haorong was now rich, but his parents had nothing to do all day, so they planted some land to pass the time. Chen Haorong was not there, only his parents and his daughter-in-law were in the field throwing rice seedlings, and when Li Xian saw Chen Hoxuan helping Chen Yuna's family throw rice seedlings, she kept hitting Chen Hoxuan. Some people. There is no medicine to save the stupid, and you don't plant your own fields to help otherwise, and there is only this one fool in the Chen village. Li Xian was very mean. Chen Haoxian is actually a bit of family property. He has an old house and 2 acres of land. The 2 acres of land Chen Haoxian does not know, even if he knew he would not plant, because the land is on the side of the mountain. The nearby land villagers have lost the desert. If he planted profitable only those animals in the mountains. Your mouth is cheap. What's there to say about that fool, other than he can read? What else can he do? Humph, college student is not a poor man. A bearded middle-aged man scolded Chen Hoxuan's heartless father, Chen Zhenggao, who seemed to be scolding his wife, but everyone could tell that he was turning to scold Chen Hoxuan. The company's main business is to provide a wide range of products and services, including a full range of products and services, I'm not sure if I can do it. Even though you abandoned him, now he doesn't provoke you, you still deliberately talk about him like this. Is there anyone who does this to you? Pingli, do you think we don't know? You want to please that fool just to marry your ugly daughter to him, huh? Toad wants to eat the swan's meat. Li Xian scolded. Chen Yuna's eyes appeared foggy. She was very sad. Li Xian's toad wanted to eat swan meat, which deeply stimulated the love she had hidden in her heart. You abandoned me, you have no right to say me again, no matter what happens to me in the future, it has nothing to do with you. Chen Hoxuan coldly told Li Xian and his wife. You heartless, who gave birth to you, who raised you, it's hard to raise you, now it's good, parents don't even want it, had I known that when I gave birth to you, I would have strangled you. Li Xian exhaled and scolded Chen Haorong. Chen Haorong's daughter-in-law spoke out to her mother, Mom, don't be angry, he's such a waste, why do you still recognize him? You just have my husband Chen Haorong. Also, my son is now successful in his career, has a car and a rich house, unlike some people, who have nothing but the ability to be a little white boy. Li Xian used to turn around and scold Chen Haoxian. Chen Yuna whispered next to Chen Haoxian to comfort Chen Haoxian, saying that no matter how they treat you, they are always your family, so bear with them as long as you can. After hearing Chen Yuna's words, Chen Hoxuan started to stop arguing with Li Xian and the others. When Chen didn't quarrel, Li Xian and the others thought that Chen was afraid of them, so they scolded him more and more excessively, as if scolding Chen was the happiest thing in their lives. After a while, a small van stopped by the side of the road, and a hideous face came out of the window. Chen Haorong saw that his family was still throwing rice seedlings, so he got out of the car, walked to the edge of the field, and squatted down to have a leisurely smoke. He seems to have gotten Li Xian's genetics and is especially fond of hitting people, so today he drove his little van to hit Chen Haorong with his little van. Chen Haorong hit Chen Hoxuan for being poor, Li Xian hit Chen Hoxuan for being stupid, Chen Zhenghao hit Chen Hoxuan for being an unwanted child, and Chen Haorong's wife Fang Xiu hit Chen Hoxuan for being a little white guy. Chen Haoxian's patience is limited, and finally he couldn't help but roar, "My Cao, you think you're great, right? If you drive a minivan, you can be a sports car, if you live in a small house, you can be a villa, if you drive a small mall, you can be a company, if you have a small amount of money, you can be a billionaire. I poo, a bunch of frogs who sit in a well and watch the sky." Chen Haorong stood up and shouted angrily at Chen Hoxuan, "Chen Hoxuan, you try to beat me with your ability, not that I'm hitting you, given a few lifetimes, you won't be able to earn as much money as me." Chen Haoxian wanted to laugh, damn it, only 1 million or so family property, and then dared to compare money with him, the future century with countless wealth of the chief professor, this is too ridiculous. Although Chen Hoxuan's is only 60 to 70,000 RMB now, but if he is serious about making money, he can compete with a money printing machine faster. Chapter 42. You guys are laughing at me for being poor, right? Okay, in a few years, I'll show you what it means to be rich. Chen Hoxuan was serious, and he turned his anger into motivation. Chen Hoxuan seriously, he turned his anger into motivation, he wants to fight for breath to show them, let them know that he is not should waste. I don't know why, he heard Li Xian and the others humiliated him like this, he was very angry, so angry that he wanted to kill someone, and the resentment in his heart was not small. Chen Haoxian thought, is this influenced by the old Chen Haoxian, which made him have such emotions? Chen Haorong aimed a despising look at Chen Hoxuan and scoffed, just you, cut, if you can make 100,000 a year, I can even kneel in front of you and call you grandfather. That's what you said, huh? I didn't force you. Chen Haoxian sneered. Don't daydream about you, your mother and I still don't know how many pounds you are. Studying is a bit material, but earning money, unless you go to be a little white man, don't try to earn 100,000 RMB a year. Li Xian also mocked Chen Hoxuan. After a year, you will know whether I can make that much money or not. For now, you'd better not speak ill of me, and don't think I'm a sick cat just because the tiger doesn't give out. Chen Haoxian warned coldly. Chen Haorong and the others were still talking, but in a very small voice. Chen Hoxuan didn't bother with them anymore, and when he earned the money, he would see what they could still say. This day, because of Chen Hoxuan's help, all of Chen Yuna's family's 5 mu of fields were planted with seedlings. In the evening, Chen made a phone call to Hua Lingwei. He begged her to do him a favor and give him the information of all the people who did big business in the vicinity of Xinchen City. His request was that the family property of the businessman must be more than 1 million. In order to get Hua Lingwei's help, Chen Hoxuan gave Hua Lingwei a promise. He told Hua Lingwei that he owed her a promise, that he would try to help her if she could make a request to him in the future. She only needed to speak to his father's secretary, and she would soon get what Chen Haoxian needed. Besides, she was personally willing to help Chen Haoxian, and she didn't know how, but she was very fond of Chen Haoxian and really wanted him to be famous. The next morning at 9 a.m., Hua Lingwei transferred the information Chen Haoxian needed to Chen Haoxian's laptop. The information Hua Lingwei gave Chen Haoxian was very detailed, with phone numbers, addresses, hobbies, what kind of business she did, family, etc. With these, Chen Haoxian could be a good candidate for the job. With this, Chen Haoxian can take action. He quickly read through all the information before going out. Chen Haoxian has a super mind. He believes that anywhere, anything can make money, just like he did in the future century. He can use water instead of gasoline, although the consumption is huge, but he did it, just not in a hurry to improve, and then to the modern era. Chen Haoxian began to walk in the Chen village, then he went to the mountains. After returning at noon, he began to look up information on the internet. In the afternoon, he called Hua Lingwei again, and asked her to help him say hello to a few businessmen he had chosen, so that when he went to see them again, it would be easier for him to talk to them. If you don't have any strength, no one will give a shit about you. Hua Lingwei agreed very quickly, but it wasn't her who greeted those people. She still asked her dad's secretary to do it. Chen Haoxian looking for construction merchants, fruit wholesalers, luxury hotels, food wholesalers. These merchants are what Chen Haoxian needs most now. Today, he carefully observed the Chen village and the small villages around the Chen village, and found that there are still a lot of profitable ones. For example, the people of Chen village have planted a lot of pomelo trees, which are very famous in Pingyuan County, but the people of Chen village are not united. You sell yours and I sell mine, resulting in many people not being able to sell their pomelo, and the price is also not high, about 5 yuan for one. The reason why Chenjia village's shate fruit is famous is because of the geological problems in Chenjia village. The shate fruit grown in other places are usually sour, but the shate fruit grown in Chenjia village is very sweet and tasty. Chen Haoxian thinks that if he buys all the shadok from Chen village and its neighboring villages and sells them to fruit merchants, he will make a lot of money in the middle. There are 3 very large ponds on the hillside of the Chen village, which are used to irrigate the fields below the hillside. Chen Haoxian wanted to contract him out to raise fish. The mountains near Chen's village have hidden wealth, and many plants can be sold for money, such as osmanthus trees, which can be sold for tens of thousands of dollars each. Chen Haoxian learned from Li Ping that those were planted by ancient people, and those things can also be turned into money, which can be used to make paper, and can be used to weave some exquisite artwork to sell. There are a lot of pheasants and rabbits in the mountains, and when they are sold in the market, they cost at most a few tens of dollars, but if they are sold in a high-class hotel, they cost $100 or so. After the analysis of Chen Haoxian's supermind, he came to the conclusion that the Chen village is full of gold. If he had the money, he would have developed Chenjia village into a tourist area, because the scenery here is very good, with the water in front and the mountains at the back. With Hua Lingwei's help, Chen Haoxian's progress was very fast, and he made a deal with the merchants, who wanted the things he could collect as soon as he could. The merchants that Chen Haoxian looked for are not too big or small merchants, because Chen Haoxian felt that it was best to look for small ones, for fear that they would not be able to eat his goods, and big ones, for fear that they would discard him. The next day, he asked Li Ping to help him advertise, telling the people of Chenjia village that he was collecting shipment, and that he wanted as much as he could. It's not the season for shaddock harvesting, but the villagers of Chinjia village will have a lot of unsold ones stored at home every year, and eat them slowly themselves. The villagers of Chinjia village all know how to keep the shaddock for a long time. Usually the shaddock will not be so easy to spoil. Put a little longer his taste, his color will become better. What Chen Hoxuan wants now is the shaddock they have stored at home. In the village, almost every household has a shaddock, so Li Ping put up a notice written by Chen Haoxian in the busy area of the village and explained it to the villagers, many of whom looked at Li Ping with suspicion. If you're a man who is the head of the Chen family village, you're right, but Chen is also the poorest man in the village, so where did he get the money to buy their shaddock? Chapter 43. When Chen Hoxuan went to the bank in Pingyuan County to raise 50,000 in cash and returned to Chen's village, he saw a large number of villagers gathered in front of his house, all of whom were chatting. Chen Haoxian is back. A villager shouted loudly when he saw that Chen Hoxuan was back, as if he was afraid that others would not know that he had found Chen Hoxuan. Li Ping jogged to the side of Chen Haoxian and whispered to Chen Haoxian, "Little Xian, they don't believe you have the money to buy their shaddock. It's okay, it's normal not to believe, but after they see the money, they will all believe it without me having to explain." Chen Haoxian was confident. Chen Haoxian walked to his door, where the terrain was higher, allowing the villagers to see him. Chen Haoxian coughed twice, cleared his throat, and said loudly, "Chenjia village folks, hello, today Li Ping is right, it is Chen Haoxian is to buy the shaddock that you have stored at home. The shaddock that you have at home is the one that you didn't sell last year. You are also tired of eating shaddock, it will go bad if you leave it too long, you don't want to eat it, you can't give it away, it's a pity if it goes bad. The one with good taste is $1.50 per pound, the one with bad taste is $1, the one with very bad taste is 50 cents, and if the shaddock from the old tree tastes super good, $2 per pound, all for cash. I have already brought the money, as long as you sell the shaddock to me now, you can get the money in my place immediately, we deliver the goods on one hand and pay the money on the other, no one owes anyone. Lastly, I want to remind you that you should not try to make it up as you go along, and give me a taste of the good stuff, but sell me the bad stuff." Chen Hoxuan said, taking out a thick stack of RMB from his satchel. The villagers of Chenjia village saw the money, the suspicion in their hearts dissipated without a trace. Anyway, Chen Hoxuan said that the delivery of the goods with one hand and the payment of money with the other, so what are they worried about? Chen Hoxuan does not pay, they cannot sell. The large electronic scale that Chen Haoxian bought also arrived at this time, and then he asked Li Ping to hire some women to help him, and the wage was 100 per day. The villagers gradually moved their shaddock to Chen Haoxian's doorstep, and Chen Haoxian started his first business in the Chen village. "Uncle, your shaddock is growing well. It tastes good, is all of yours like this?" After tasting a bit of a villager's shaddock, Chen Hoxuan smiled at the villager. "I'm not going to lie to you, and you should know that the shaddock trees in my orchard are more than 6 years old, and with my careful care, the taste can be bad." The villager was proud of himself. "That's okay, I trust you, so I'll take all of your shaddock, how about $2 per pound?" Chen Haoxian smiled, how could he know who the villager in front of him was? Not to mention his orchard, because he was from the future, Chen Haoxian. But Chen Haoxian heard him say that. Chen Haoxian thought that what he said should be true. After all, there were still so many villagers present. If what he said was fake, the other villagers should say something. Even if the villagers did not say, Chen Yuna would tell him. "Okay, it'll be $2 per pound." The villager was happy. In the past, his shaddock shipped out to sell, also 2 yuan a pound, did not expect Chen Haoxian's purchase price so high. He thought, in the future, will no longer use so much trouble, directly sold to Chen Haoxian can be exactly 1,800 pounds, 2 yuan a pound, that's 3,600 yuan, This is 3,600 yuan, you pointed out. Chen Haoxian counted out 3,600 yuan and handed it to the villagers. Chen Haoxian has just explained Li Ping. After weighing the shattuck are moved to his family's living room, Li Ping with a few women began to carefully move the shattuck. The first thing you need to do is to take a look at the newest version of the newest product. It's a good idea to have an electronic scale to know how many pounds you're going to get when you put it down. The company has been in the business for over a decade, and has been in the business for over a decade, and has been in the business for over a decade. There is only one electronic scale, and it can only come one by one, which keeps Chen Haoxian busy until the evening. In the evening Chen Haoxian asked Chen Yuna's dad, Chen Yubin, to help him install a light tube in front of his house. He calculated that he had harvested over 21,000 pounds of shattuck today. The next morning, Chen Haoxian was woken up by someone who knew that Chen Haoxian was buying pomelo at a high price and was afraid that his pomelo would not sell well, so he came to Chen Haoxian's house early in the morning with his pomelo. The first thing you need to do is to take a look at the newest products. By noon, the number of villagers who come to sell their shattuck is very small, and there is not one in half an hour. Chen Haoxian knew that there were no more shattuck in Chen village, so he announced that he would stop collecting shattuck, and of course Li Ping was the one to deliver the news. In addition, Chen also asked Li Ping to tell the people in Chen village and nearby villages that he was buying osmanthus trees and bamboo. Chen Haoxian made a phone call to the fruit merchant and asked him to call a car to come and deliver the shattuck. Chen Haoxian followed the shattuck to the fruit merchant's warehouse. Boss Su, hello, I am Chen Haoxian. Today I brought you more than 20,000 pounds of shattuck pomelo. The taste is very good. I also classify their grade. Chen Haoxian smiled and shook hands with Su Shive. Hello, you are really young and promising. If you can even get so many shattuck at this time, no wonder the Huashi Group's Hua Tianyu all praised you as a business genius. Su Shive smiled. This is all a joke by Hua. Chen Haoxian modestly said. Chen Haoxian and Su Shive chatted for a while, and then they started to talk about business, and it was very difficult to see such fruits as pomelo in the market at this time, so the pomelo Chen Haoxian acquired could be sold at a good price. According to the price of the flavor grade, Chen Haoxian earned more than 20,000 yuan from the shattuck. When Chen Haoxian returned to the Chen village, he didn't see many people from the Chen village, so he figured out if they had gone to the mountains to look for what he had purchased. Chapter 44. The first thing you need to know is that you can't find any other people in the house except for Chen Yubin. The most important thing is that Chen Haoxian is going to buy those miscellaneous trees in the mountains at a high price. How can she not be moved? She also wants to earn a little more money to make her life a little better. The most important thing is that the trees Chen Haoxian wants are very abundant in the mountains, which makes the villagers of Chen village and nearby villages feel like going to the mountains to collect money. Chen Haoxian needs more trees. That's good. Things are scarce and expensive. Since there were so many, the purchase price was certainly not too high. It didn't seem high to him, but in the eyes of the villagers, it was very high, at least several times better than plowing the fields. More importantly, the farming season was over now anyway, so it was better to go to the mountains to earn some money than to be idle. Hey, Zhangqing, looking for you a little something. I'm not going back to school for the time being. I want to do a little business at home. You can help me manage the online store for the time being. Don't worry, Nana will go back in a few days, and she will help you then. I need some people here now. I wonder if you can help me introduce a few security guards, preferably those who have been in the army. I'll give 3,000 a month salary. Chen Haoxian was on the phone with Zhangqing Dao, who was far away from the University of Xinjiang City. Hey, Xiaoxian, did you forget that I used to be a soldier? I have many comrades who are security guards. Some of them can't even find a job. They have no choice but to be construction workers. How many you want? I'll help you find them now. They are all reliable brothers. Zhangqing proudly said. 6 of them. But let me say hello to you first. They don't just need to help me look at things, they also need to help me move things, so don't worry, there won't be too much stuff. Chen Hao Xian Dao. Okay, I'll call you after half an hour. Zhang Qing Dao. Chen didn't have to wait long before Zhang Qing called and said that he had found someone. Chen Hao Xian asked Zhang Qing to inform those people to bring their luggage and come to the Chen village now. The 6 people Zhang Qing introduced to Chen Hao Xian were all from the vicinity of the city of Xinchen, which was not very far from Chenjia village, and it took 2 to 3 hours by car to get there. In the evening, the villagers came to the door of Chen Hao Xian's house one after another, carrying all kinds of trees on their shoulders, including several people carrying laurel trees together, and women carrying a handful of bamboo. Fortunately, the 6 people introduced by Zhang Qing had already come, and Chen Hao Xian asked them to help with the management for the time being. Because this time it was Chen Hao Xian even notified the nearby villages, so today is very lively. Each villager brought a lot of Chen Hao Xian need a lot of trees, many people are using a wheelbarrow, pushing here. It's not that they are so great that they got so many in one afternoon, but there are really a lot of these trees in the nearby mountains. Chen Hao Xian brought back cash this time. There are 80,000 RMB, one night to spend all out. There are still many village confiscated trees. There were piles of trees in front of Chen Hao Xian's house, and Chen Hao Xian didn't have that much cash at the moment, so he had to wait until tomorrow to exchange the goods for money before continuing the purchase. After all the villagers left, Chen Hao Xian stood in front of 6 burly men. You are all introduced by Zhang Qing, and Zhang Qing is my good brother, so you are also my good brothers, but brothers are brothers, and work is work. I asked you to come here because I want you to help me take care of my things, and help me move some things when I am busy. I'll give you a salary of 3,000 a month, and there will be a bonus for good performance. Chen Hoxuan said seriously. Chen Hoxuan was serious. Boss Chen, don't worry. We'll do a good job. A strong man spoke out. You guys introduce yourselves. Let's start with me. My name is Chen Hoxuan, I'm still in college, and this is my home. Chen Hao Xian. My name is Lin Hao, I'm 31 years old, a farmer, and I live in Dongshan village. Lin Hao, who stood at the front, introduced himself loudly. My name is Mao Yipan, I'm 32 years old, a construction worker, I quit my job today, and I live in Zhongtun Zhuang. Mao Yipan introduced himself. My name is Zhang Dong, I'm 31 years old, and my home is in Ye House. I'm Meng Liking, I'm Li Jun, and I'm Li Batao. The 6 of them introduced themselves one after another. Well, now we've all gotten to know each other, and we'll need more help on the work in the future. By the way, this is a rural area without any buildings, so I have to let you guys live in my house, and please don't mind the rooms in this house. You can live in whichever room you like. Anyway, I just live alone. Chen Hao Xian politely said. We are all farmers, we won't mind if we have a place where we can shelter from the wind and rain. Lin Hao smiled. Chen Hao Xian took Lin Hao and the others to choose a room, and after arranging for Lin Hao and the others, Chen Hao Xian saw that the lights were still on in Chen Yuna's house, so he walked into Chen Yuna's house. Auntie, you guys are still awake. Chen Hao Xian greeted with a smile. Li Ping saw Chen Hao Xian coming and awkwardly collected money at the table. She was just counting how much their family had earned today. Little Xian, you're here. Sit down. Nana, go bring a cup of hot water to your brother Xian. Li Ping enthusiastically told Chen Hao Xian, then turned her head and instructed Chen Yuna to bring Chen Hao Xian a cup of hot water. That's how it is in the countryside, they rarely drink tea, not that they don't like it, but they can't afford it, so they usually only drink plain water. Auntie, I want you to do me a favor. Chen Hao Xian sat next to Li Ping and said. Little Xian, you're out of line, if there's anything you need help with, just say so. Why are you so polite with Auntie? Li Ping was quick to say. I've hired 6 people to help me today, and with me there are 7 of us, we're all big men, so if you don't mind, you can cover our meals, and you can reimburse me for all the food expenses every day. Chen Haoxian Dao. Of course I can, I have a lot of time anyway. Li Ping cheerfully, she was planning to get up very early every day to go out to buy food, make breakfast for Chen Haoxian and the others, then go into the mountains to get some mountain goods, almost noon to hurry back to cook for Chen Haoxian and the others. That's a good deal, from tomorrow our food will be in your hands, I'll give you a salary of 2,000 a month. We'll add more later. Chen Haoxian smiled. 2,000? That's a lot, isn't it? Li Ping was surprised, she was busy from year to year cultivating the fields, and only earned a few thousand, but she helped Chen Haoxian cook, and earned 2,000 a month, which is a bit too high for her. Chapter 45. It's a bit small, how about this? Just 3,000 a month. Chen Haoxian thought Li Ping was too little. How did he know that Li Ping's surprise was because the salary he gave was too high? Also, after all, Chen Haoxian is a person from the future century, and it is normal to have a generation gap with the 21st century people. No, I don't mean that, I mean you actually don't have to give me so much money, just give me a few hundred a month. Li Ping explained. A few $100, how can I? Let's say it's 2,000 a month for now, and when I have more employees, you can raise it slowly. Chen Haoxian stood up after saying that he wanted to leave. At this time, Chen Yuna came over with a cup of water and saw that Chen Haoxian was leaving, so she couldn't help but say, Brother Xian, have a cup of water before you leave. Chen Haoxian was too embarrassed to refuse Chen Yuna's kindness, but the moment he took the cup, he noticed that Yuna's hand had many slight scars. Chen Haoxian held the cup in one hand and dragged Yuna Chen's hand with the other, and said in a distressed manner, What's wrong with your hand? Why are there so many injuries? Chen Yuna pulled back her hand and put it behind her back, as if she didn't want Chen Haoxian to worry about her. Chen Yuna smiled and explained, It's fine, it's just that I got it from some thorny plants while I was on the mountain, I'll be fine in a day or two. What's fine? I don't care, you shouldn't get those trees in the mountains anymore. Chen Haoxian was serious. Chen Yuna lowered her head, aggrieved, people just want to make a little money. You own half of the shares of our online store at the University of the City of New Jersey, and you're worried that you don't have the money to use it. Oh, right, I'm going back to Xinjiang City tomorrow, I won't go back for a while, you can take a month's vacation for me. You will return to Xinjiang City alone tomorrow, remember to be careful Chen Haoxian said. Brother Xian, you are on leave again. Ever since your accidental memory loss, I've noticed that you dislike school. Chen Yuna complained, Chen Haoxian and her used to be together almost every moment, but after Chen Haoxian's memory loss, she often went to class alone and often ate alone, and he missed the old days. Chen Haoxian's expression suddenly became very serious, his eyes showed coldness, he coldly said, I will let those relatives of mine see for themselves whether I am a waste or not. Chen Yuna clenched her fists with both hands and secretly said in her heart, Well, come on, Brother Xian, I know you can do it. Chen Haoxian went back to sleep. As for those trees in front of his house, he does not have to worry, he has arranged 2 security guards to watch. The night passed quickly, the sun slowly rose. Chen Haoxian woke up very early today as usual, he made a phone call to the transportation company. In the morning at 10 o'clock, Chen Haoxian to yesterday's collection of trees all transported away, 5 east wind car, the momentum is really not small. The trees that Chen Haoxian acquired were all roots, and were intended to be sold to a construction businessman, who had a large sapling base of his own, specializing in the cultivation of these strange and bizarre plants. In addition, there were some bamboos, which Chen Haoxian sold directly as paper bamboos, meaning they were sold by the pound to those paper-making factories. The company's main business is the construction of a new building, which will be completed in the second half of this year, and a new building will be built in the second half of this year. The first thing you need to do is to get your own personalized product or service from the manufacturer. It's also a good idea to think about it, as there are still many forests in this era, and there is no need to deliberately protect them for the time being. The company's main business is the construction of a new building, the construction of a new building, and the construction of a new building. Chen Haoxian returned to the Chen village and began to purchase trees again. This day there are fewer osmanthus trees. Osmanthus trees are a relatively small number of plants. Yesterday, because the villagers heard Chen Haoxian said that if the osmanthus trees look good, digging up the whole tree can give a very high price, so just yesterday those in the near osmanthus trees are all gone. But other plants, Chen Haoxian received a lot of, although not sold for much money, but his quantity is large, can make a lot of money. It is impossible for Li Xian and the others not to know that Chen Haoxian has made such a big deal. They can't even figure out why Chen Haoxian has so much money to buy these things. Chen Haorong found that he hated Chen Haoxian more and more. Chen Haoxian was more handsome than him, and now he could make more money than him, and his small shopping mall only made tens of thousands of yuan a month. But looking at Chen Haoxian's business now, he was sure that Chen Haoxian could make tens of thousands of yuan a day, because he saw Chen Haoxian's business was getting bigger every day, which proved that Chen Haoxian was getting richer every day. Thinking back to the bet he used to make with Chen Haoxian, if you can make 100,000 or so a year, I'll kneel down in front of you and call you grandpa. Chen Haorong began to worry. He could lose to others, but he could never lose to his trash brother, so he began to think of a way. Chen Haoxian had sufficient funds today to acquire all kinds of plants, large and small, for one day, and did not spend all the 150,000 RMB. With enough money, Chen didn't have to convert the goods into money every day. He could accumulate the goods and then ship them out to sell. Li Ping doesn't go to the mountains to make money anymore. She goes to the vegetable garden every day to plant vegetables, cook for Chen Haoxian and the others, and help Chen Haoxian clean the house. As for Chen Yueben, Chen Haoxian saw that he was free every day, so he gave him a job. Considering Chen Yueben's poor health, Chen Haoxian gave him an easy job, which was to help him convey his words to the villagers. The first thing you need to do is to take a look at the book, and then you can see how much you've been missing. In the home of a wealthy daughter of the family successfully employed, however, this youthful and attractive lady has broken a leg, and every day he needs to send to school. Thus, Su Neiwen's passionate urban life begins in full swing. All kinds of beautiful women came one after another. Su Neiwen straight out, YD life, start. Su Neiwen shouted wildly, beauty, come on, little buttocks pucker up, what are you doing? Hey, why are you so evil? I'll give you a shot to cure you. Chapter 46. If Chen Haoxian gave him a few thousand yuan a month, he would think that Chen Haoxian was taking pity on him, and it was with this in mind that Chen Haoxian gave him a small salary. A few days later, Chen hired a recent college graduate from the talent market to be his secretary. The company's main purpose is to provide a wide range of services and products to the public. What Chen Haoxian saw in her was her ability to calculate, and she was very good at calculating, which was far worse than Chen Haoxian. The secretary's name is Miao Yuxiang, an ethnic minority from Ji State, and she had the good luck to meet Chen Haoxian right after she arrived at the talent market. Originally, she did not dare to go to the remote village alone for fear that Chen Haoxian would sell her out, but Chen Haoxian's eloquence made her willingly follow Chen Haoxian to Chen's village to become his secretary. The reason is very simple. He thought that an eloquent and talented person would not be a liar. If he needed money, he could use his talent to make money. As a liar, no matter how much you cheat, you can't get rich. Plus she was a child of a poor family, and her looks were not good, so she couldn't sell her for much money, and also Chen Hoxuan was so handsome, and his goodwill was not to be said. With the help of his helpers, Chen didn't have to be so busy. He put Miao Yuxiang in charge of buying all kinds of plants that the villagers got from the mountains. Chen sold a chopper motorcycle for more than 6,000 yuan, which included all the formalities. Chen began to drive the motorcycle around the villages, and now he was collecting today in this village and tomorrow in that village, taking turns. All of these things that Chen received were sent to the outskirts of the city of Xinchen, where there is a very large sapling base. The person who cooperated with Chen Haoxian is called Wang Long, who has been in the construction business for more than 20 years and has a large network of connections, and knows many officials. He has recently received several large projects, including a 30-kilometer-long road with trees on both sides of the road, which he has contracted. He has also taken on a project to build a large park, and other small businesses. The large amount of plants that Chen provided him every day only made him happy, and he was also glad that the Huaxi people had introduced him to Chen Haoxian. He is now famous throughout Pingyuan County, and some bosses even ask him directly to help them buy things that are only available in the countryside. At this time, the farmers have nothing to do, and Chen Haoxian just happens to buy all kinds of mountain goods, so many villagers go into the mountains to make money. The first time I saw him, he was in the middle of the night, and he was in the middle of the night. If this continues, those he purchased will be extinct. Chen Haoxian made a phone call to Wang Long, who told Chen Haoxian that he would help him to collect 20 thick osmanthus trees, and the rest could be left alone. Chen Hoxuan asked Chen Yubin to help him notify every household in every village. As for the 20 thick osmanthus trees, Chen Hoxuan asked the Chen family village people to look for them. Anyway, Wang Long's place is not urgent. The first time I saw it, I thought it would be a good idea to go to the market, but I didn't think it would be a good idea. After instructing Miao Yuxiang to continue to buy the mountain goods brought by the villagers, Chen Haoxian hiked to the Chen village to stroll around, actually not strolling. He was looking for new business opportunities. He unknowingly walked to the river, and saw the water clear and bright, a few women washing clothes at the river pier, those green bamboo by the river, a mighty wind blowing in the face. Chen Haoxian smelled clear. The environment here is really nice. When I have money, I will build a villa by the river. Chen Haoxian said to himself. Seeing that the scenery was so good and the river so clean, Chen Haoxian thought of a rafting trip. The investment seemed too big and uneconomical. Chen Haoxian gave up. Suddenly, when Chen Haoxian was walking along the river, he was struck by something and looked down. It was a stone, a strange-shaped stone. Chen Haoxian squatted down, picked up the stone, and looked at it carefully. Suddenly Chen Haoxian had a flash of light in his mind, and he blurted out, "Right, why didn't I think of that? The owner of that hotel also told me that the prices of these stones are thousands and tens of thousands of dollars." When he thought of this, Chen Haoxian had the idea of collecting rare and strange stones. When he thought of this, Chen Haoxian walked back home happily, feeling light when he walked home, because if he was lucky and could collect a lot of nice stones, he would be able to make a fortune, at least much more money than buying mountain goods. When Chen Hoxuan told Chen Yuebin and the others that he was going to collect all kinds of strange stones, Chen Yuebin thought that Chen Hoxuan was joking, and that the stones were not worth much. After Chen Haoxian's explanation, Chen Yubin and the others realized that some of the stones were more expensive than gold. The villagers believed what Chen Haoxian said because Chen Haoxian had always paid them with one hand and delivered to them with the other, and with this, Chen Haoxian deserved their trust. So many villagers started to go to the river to look for strange stones, and soon after the news of Chen Hoxuan's purchase of strange stones spread, a large number of villagers gathered by the river, all of them walking with their hands and heads down, and in their words, they were collecting gold bricks. Chen Haorong, who was trying to stop Chen Hoxuan from becoming rich, investigated Chen Hoxuan, and as he followed him, he found the place where Chen Hoxuan had sold the mountain goods. So he thought, He also went to collect all kinds of mountain goods and sell them to Wang Long's sapling base, but Wang Longbird much did not care about him, which made him very angry. Chapter 47. Wang Long is a big businessman, so why would he be interested in someone like Chen Haorong, who has no money, no power, and no fame, so he didn't even meet Chen Haorong. Chen Haorong is different from Chen Hoxuan. Chen Hoxuan was introduced by Hua Lingwei, so no matter what, he had to give her face. After all, her father is a tycoon in the city of Xinshan. Wang Long didn't give a damn, so Chen Haorong he went to look for other partners. He already knew who he should find to cooperate to rob Chen Hoxuan's business. He found a businessman who planted saplings. The businessman is not as big as Wang Long, but no matter what, others are willing to cooperate with him, right? The businessman that Chen Haorong looked for, because his business was not very big, so he could not buy all kinds of mountain goods in large quantities like Chen Hoxuan. However, he was in no hurry, he wanted to make it big slowly, and he was confident that he could replace Chen Hoxuan in a short time. When Chen Haorong returned to the Chen village, he heard that Chen Haoxian did not buy mountain goods anymore, and instead bought strange stones. Chen Haorong was full of questions about how much money the stones could earn. The more Chen Hoxuan messed up, the happier he was. He was just like that, he couldn't bear to see others get better. Chen Haorong found his friends, who used to hang out with him, and then he went out to work, so he rarely contacted them. Chen Haorong asked his friends and pigs to help him inform the Chen village and the villages near Chen village, telling the villagers that he was also like Chen Hoxuan in buying all kinds of mountain goods. Chen Haorong's purchase of mountain goods, Chen Hoxuan also knew about it from Li Ping's mouth, and he just smiled faintly after hearing about it. Now the mountain can be sold, basically he took away, although not all scraped clean. This is like, Chen Haoxian eat, Chen Haorong drink soup. The company has been in the process of developing the new product for the past 2 years. In the beginning, Chen Haorong thought that he could make a lot of money by buying mountain goods for those who planted saplings, but after he received the mountain goods for a day and sent them to the owner of the planting business he realized that he would lose money by buying mountain goods. Chen Haorong bought some osmanthus trees, and some nice trees, various plants, and mountain goods. Since he could not estimate how much the goods were worth, he lost money, which made him lose several $1,000s a day. The owner who planted the saplings also explained to him that there are risks in this business, and many things are based on guesswork, but most importantly on experience. Chen Haorong learned his lesson, he bought mountain goods at a low price. Anyway, Chen Hoxuan now does not accept mountain goods. In a 10-mile radius, he is the only one to buy mountain goods, if not sold to him, to whom to sell? Because Chen Hoxuan was a high-priced buyer, and now Chen Haorong was a low-priced buyer, many villagers were dissatisfied with Chen Haorong, and secretly often scolded Chen Haorong as a black-hearted businessman. The villagers still sold their hard-earned goods to Chen Haorong, but they had no choice. Chen Haoxian's acquisition of all kinds of strange stones is very smooth. Every day there are many villagers take a bag of stones to his home. Many people pick up stones to sell, but cannot sell very few, because Chen Haoxian only accepts high-quality goods. If you have a very beautiful stone, not to mention a few $1,000s, is tens of thousands, Chen Haoxian will give. This is Chen Haoxian's words to the villagers. On this day, a little girl with a fist-sized water stone took a group of children into Chen Haoxian's house, and those children behind her also took a lot of strange stones in their hands. The first time I saw this, I thought it was a good idea to go to the river to pick up some rocks. Brother Xian, I picked up a stone, do you want it? The little girl looked panicked to Chen Haohuan. She knew Chen Haohuan but had never spoken to him before, so she was 12 years old. She was nervous. If it looks good, I promise to take it, and you show me the stone you picked up. Chen Haoxian joked to the strange little girl in front of him. Here. The girl held the stone in both hands and handed it to Chen Haoxian. Chen Haoxian received the stone from the little girl. When he looked at the stone, his eyes could not help but brighten. The little girl handed him a very good stone, round, very smooth, mainly the appearance of the pattern, very artistic sense, is definitely a worthy collection of stone. Little sister, what's your name? Chen Haoxian joked to the little girl in front of him. My name is Chen Xiaomin, brother Xian, can I sell this stone for money? Chen Xiaomin said in a delicate voice. Can, of course I can, this stone of yours is very beautiful, your brother Xian I like very much, so I want to acquire your stone, but you'd better call your family to come over, because giving so much money to you, I'm worried that there will be an accident. If you believe me, the stone will be left with me first, and you will go right now to call your family to come over, and I will give your family the money, okay? Chen Haoxian joked. Well, I'm going to call my mom and dad right now. After she finished speaking, she jumped up and ran outside, and the children who came with her also ran after her. Before she arrived home, Chen Xiaomin started shouting, Dad, Mom, so block out. Brother Xian said he wanted to buy my stones, so he asked her to come and get the money. Chen Xiaomin's father was away, working in the mountains, but her mother was home. Her mother came out of the house and asked, a little in disbelief, you're not lying to me, are you? She also went to pick up rocks, but the ones she picked up were not good enough for Chen Haoxian, who she thought was simply lying, so many rocks and he only received a few, so she stopped picking up rocks and planted vegetables at home. Really, if you don't believe me, ask them. Chen Xiaomin pointed at her best friends and told her mother. Auntie, it's true, we all heard, brother Xian really told Minnie to go home and ask you to get the money. Chen Xiaomin's good friends all spoke out. Chen Xiaomin's mother believed it now, and she took her daughter's small hand and went to Chen Haoxian's house with an excited heart. Chen Haoxian, who was sitting in the living room of his house drinking tea, saw Chen Xiaomin, who had just brought a stone to sell, walk in with a woman. Chen Haoxian smiled and said, Minnie, you're here. Is that your mother holding your hand? Brother Xian, she is my mother. Chen Xiaomin was excited, although she was a little curious why Chen Haoxian didn't even know her mother and just asked her name, but she didn't ask, all she wanted now was to get the money for selling the stone. Chapter 48. Xian, is it true what this girl said? Does she really sell the rocks she picks up? Chen Xiaomin's mother questioned. She had also seen Chen Haoxian receive a few stones, the price was a few hundred, the stones that can be sold are too few, that's why she suspected. He handed the stone to Chen Xiaomin's mother and said, this is the stone, look at it yourself, this stone is very smooth and round, and the patterns on his exterior are very exquisite, so this stone is worth a lot of money. I'll give you a price, you see if you are satisfied, if not, we can talk again, my price is 5,000 yuan. 5,000 yuan? Did I hear that right? Chen Xiaomin's mother was surprised, and Chen Xiaomin was even more surprised to the point that her mouth became O-shaped. The first time I saw her, I thought she would be able to sell it for a few $100s, but she didn't think she would be able to sell it for $5,000 if she picked up a stone. Chen Haoxian bowed his head, yes, that is $5,000, if you agree, I will give you the money now. Agreed, of course I agree. Chen Xiaomin's mother was very excited, nodding her head desperately, as if she was afraid that Chen Haoxian would go back on his words. Chen Haoxian now formed a habit, that is, the body is not without a bag, he also all-day messenger bag is also helpless, the satchel inside is loaded with yuan, placed in his humble room inside, Chen Haoxian does not feel safe, so he had to always carry. Chen Haoxian took out a wad of banknotes and counted 5,000 yuan out, handing it to Chen Xiaomin's mother, saying, this is 5,000 yuan, you count it. No need to count it, You are the most sincere in business, I trust you. Chen Xiaomin's mother took the money Chen Hoxuan handed her. She quickly put it into her pocket, as if she was afraid Chen Hoxuan would snatch it back. You'd better count it? Otherwise, if you go out of my house and find out that the amount of money is not right, and then come to me, I will never admit to it. Chen Haoxian was serious. She took out the money, counted it, and was relieved to find that the amount was correct. She happily said to Chen Haoxian, Xiaoxian, come to my house for lunch, I'll go shopping later. The company's main business was to buy the stone from Chen Haoxian, who offered a high price for the stone, and she thought that she should be generous enough to invite Chen Haoxian for a meal and casually flatter Chen Haoxian. Chen Haoxian waved his hand and smiled, no, thank you for your kindness, I can eat at home, besides, I can't leave now. You also know that I often have people to sell things here. You also know that I often have people selling things here. That's okay, let me know if you're free that day, and I'll make you a good meal to try. Chen Xiaomin's mother was pleased. Chen Xiaomin tugged on her mother's corner and said coquettishly, Mom, how did you take my money? Why do you need so much money for a kid? $5,000 is no, do you want $5? Chen Xiaomin's mother was very stingy in taking out 5 quick change. In fact, she was also doing it for the good of her child, giving so much money to a small child at once, for fear that the child would learn to be bad. Mom, stingy. Chen Xiaomin lowered her head, aggrieved. Chen Xiaomin lowered her head and grieved. Chen Hoxuan walked to Chen Xiaomin's front, reached out and touched Chen Xiaomin's little head, and gently said, your mother is also for your own good, you think. What if I give you all the money and you drop it? What if you spend it all at once? When you run out, you drop it, and then you don't have any pocket money. But it's different when you give it to your mom, because your mom will keep it for you, and every once in a while, she'll give you some pocket money, so you'll always have some pocket money. How nice. Many understands, thank you brother Xian. Chen Xiaomin happily told Chen Haoxian, and she happily received the 5 yuan her mother gave her. The children who came with Chen Xiaomin saw that Chen Xiaomin had really sold them for so much money, so they scrambled to be the first to hand their stones to Chen Haoxian. Brother Xian, see if my stone can be sold, brother Xian, look at my. After a while, all the children in Chen Haoxian's house, except for Chen Xiaomin, had bitter faces, because their stones were not sold. Chen Xiaomin saw that none of her friends had sold their stones, only hers had, which made her feel really great, so well. Her smile hasn't stopped today. In order to comfort the children, Chen took out a jar of lollipop, which was originally bought for Chen Yuna, but Chen Yuna forgot to take it with her, so it has been kept in storage. Chen Haoxian himself does not like to eat, and after a long time and for fear of spoilage, so he simply took it out to these children to eat. There were not many children in Chen Haoxian's house, and each of them got about 10 lollipops from a jar of lollipops. One of the children gave the stones he found to Chen Haoxian, saying that he couldn't sell them for money anyway, so he gave them to Chen Haoxian to play with, and other children followed suit and gave the stones they didn't sell to Chen Haoxian. The other children also gave them to Chen Haoxian. He was not polite, and the stones were worthless anyway, so he put them in his small yard as decoration. When Chen Haoxian began to purchase all kinds of strange and odd stones, many villagers with the dream of getting rich to pick up stones, but a few days later, after numerous blows, the stones were not sold, and farm work was not done. They felt that this is a loss of business, a loss, although there are a few hundreds of yuan, but can pick up stones to sell money is too little, so fewer and fewer people to pick up stones. The first thing you need to know is that you can't afford to buy a new one, and you can't afford to buy a new one, because you can't afford to buy a new one. The villagers are thinking, a little girl can pick up 5 yuan worth of stones, how can they? Adults can't even compare to children. Chen Haorong sighed, He is now more and more annoyed with those villagers who sell him mountain goods, because the villagers made the mountain goods are getting worse and worse, and also bargain with him all day long. Several times he also, because of the purchase is so bad, let him lose a few thousand. This makes him feel very bad. He calculated his income in this period of time. He found that he did not earn a penny and lost a few hundred yuan. If you add his labor, then he has lost at least a few thousand yuan. Chapter 49. He also knows why he lost money. It's all because of Chen Haoxian. If Chen Haoxian hadn't bought a lot of mountain goods, he would have taken away the good ones and left the bad ones to him. How could he not lose money? Now he saw Chen Haoxian offer a high price for the stone. At first he was not optimistic, but Chen Xiaoman, the little girl in their village, picked up a stone and sold it to Chen Haoxian. Chen Haoxian actually came out with a high price of 5,000 RMB. He wondered why Chen Haoxian would pay such a high price for the stone if he couldn't make any money from it. So he investigated Chen Haoxian like the last time, but this time he didn't find out anything, except that Chen didn't go out except for jogging in the morning. Chen Haorong, who is also a man who has seen the market, pulled an internet line and started to investigate the price of stones online. He found that the stranger the stone, the higher the price it would fetch, and he got excited, looking for buyers online. He wanted to do what he did last time, find a buyer and then acquire the stone. There were very few people who liked to collect stones, so Chen Haorong searched for a long time but couldn't find any, so he started to leave messages and advertisements everywhere, hoping to find someone who liked to collect stones. 2 days later, Chen Haorong did not accept any more goods. Even if he wanted to, the boss he worked with would not take them, because the boss was very disappointed in Chen Haorong. Every time he gave him poor goods, so poor goods, how can he make money? Chen Haorong started to look for other ways to do business, and he didn't believe it. He did business before Chen Haoxian. He was smarter than Chen Haoxian. How could he make less money than Chen Haoxian? He was not convinced, and he wanted Chen Haorong to never surpass him. The small shopping mall Chen Haorong opened has been open for several years, and if he were really that smart he would not have stopped. Chen Haoxian now seems to have a very hot business, but the stones that he can actually acquire are few and far between. Chen Haoxian's days are also leisurely, drinking tea every day, chatting with Lin Hao and the others, and from time to time looking at the stones that the villagers bring over to sell. In the meantime, Chen Yuna would go home every Saturday and Sunday, and she was especially happy to see Chen Haoxian's development, and she was proud of him. With the help of the owner of the villa hotel, Chen had met many rich people who liked to collect stones, and he often showed off some of the fine products he had acquired in front of them. This is not that Chen Haoxian is being cheap, he is doing business, but the way he does business is a bit different. Chen Haoxian is trying to slowly arouse the hearts of the rich people. He also said not to sell. He waited for the rich people themselves to ask, and then he would act as if he was reluctant to negotiate with others on the price. Chen Haoxian's stones are all of the best, so he is not afraid of not being able to sell them, because he now knows a lot of rich people to whom he can sell them. Chen Haoxian's reputation in Pingyuan County is now skyrocketing, and basically everyone in Pingyuan County has heard of Chen Haoxian's name, and business is developing so fast that only Chen Haoxian is the only one in Pingyuan County. The other people worked hard for more than 10 years to get the results now, but Chen Haoxian, just a few days to the business from the countryside to the county and even the city. In the past few years, there have been a lot of people who have been trying to make a living from their own lives. Hey, village chief, long time no see. Chen Haoxian walked into the village chief's yard and saw that the village chief was cooling off under a big tree in his yard. So it's little Xian. You're my rare customer, so what do you want from me? The village chief looked at Chen Haoxian with narrowed eyes. In fact, he was looking at the 2 bottles of liquor that Chen Haoxian was carrying in his hands. Chen Haoxian put the 2 bottles of wine on a stone table in the courtyard, then went to the village chief and squatted down beside him, took out the cigar he was carrying, handed it to the village chief, and lit one for himself, and took a drag on his cigarette before Chen said, "Village chief, I want to tell you something. You are now a celebrity in our Chen village. If you have something to say, just say it directly. What's the point of being polite with me? Well, if I'm right, you must have come up with some kind of profitable business again, right?" The village chief said. He, it seems that the village chief knows me very well. That's right, I am thinking of a new business. I want to contract those 3 big fish ponds in our village. What do you think? Chen Haoxian Dao. Of course you can. Anyway, no one is willing to raise that fish pond. It's too big and there's not that much money to invest. Only a big money like you would dare to contract 3 big fish ponds at the same time. The village chief smiled. Chen Haoxian contracted the fish pond. It was good for him. It could earn some spare money for the village. Then what is the price of the contract? Chen Haoxian asked. How about 3 big fish ponds, $5,000 a year? The village chief. Okay, here's the deal, 3 fish ponds for $5,000 a year, I'll contract for 5 years. Mayor, you have nothing to do right now anyway, so let's go get a contract signed now. Chen Haoxian was pleased. Chen Haoxian did not feel the contract price given by the village chief was high at all, but rather felt it was very low. Why are you in such a hurry? I won't go back on my promise, so eat at my house later and have a few drinks with me, or else I won't contract the fish pond to you. The village chief was serious about Chen Haoxian, who didn't want to get rich, and the village chief was no exception. He also wanted to get rich together with Chen Haoxian. Chen Haoxian had no choice but to be at the village chief's house, drinking with the village chief, and in the afternoon, Chen Haoxian got the contract for the 3 big fish ponds in the Chen family village as he wished. Chen Haoxian has calculated, those 3 big fish ponds put tens of thousands of yuan of fish fry down no problem, then he will hire a few fish breeders to help him raise, after a year, if no accident, make hundreds of thousands of no problem. When Chen Haoxian heard that Chen Haoxian had contracted the 3 large fish ponds in Chen village, he was so angry that he lost sleep for several days. This book is funny, but it's also a great way to get a better understanding of the world's culture. It was hit by a flower pot to cross. And Lu Laoliu, is he really an immortal? I go, can I give it to a group of beautiful women? What? No. How about at least some silverware? Not yet. What is it? Even if I don't give any power, why do I have to run away and become a servant? Well, I've been hungry for 2 days, so I'll take it. Chapter 50. Chen Haoxian's business is getting bigger and bigger, and he can only follow Chen Haoxian's ass to drink soup, which makes him suffer a serious blow to his self-esteem. He wanted to surpass Chen Haoxian, he wanted to steal Chen Haoxian's business, but no matter how hard he tried, he just couldn't surpass Chen Haoxian. He couldn't think of any money-making ideas, and he couldn't find anyone to work with. The more Chen Haorong thought about it, the more lame he felt, so he went out and got drunk. He bought tens of thousands of small fry and put them in the fish pond, all kinds of fry, most of which were grass carp, and hired 3 fish breeders to help him raise them. After Chen contracted the fish pond, he did other business. He went to the county town and printed out a lot of business cards for Chen Yubin to help him distribute everywhere. He bought bamboo. Chen has the advantage of his good reputation, he deals in cash, and his price is 1 or 2 cents higher than others. In order to save money, Chen hired 2 Dongfeng trucks to help him load 1 truckload of stuff. He paid once. If there is no business, the 2 men in the Dongfeng truck can do whatever they want. He contracted a fish pond, bought bamboo and stones, then went to the city to buy some doll-making machines and 10 carts of clothes. He hired 10 women in the village who knew how to make carts of clothes, and paid them piece-rate wages. He wanted to make some lovely dolls and sell them on Children's Day. Time passed quickly, the month holiday was almost over, Chen Haoxian handed over the management of the business to Chen Yubin. But the business of acquiring stones was not given to him. Chen Haoxian asked him to inform the villagers that he would buy stones every Saturday from now on, but not at other times. Chen Haoxian asked Lin Hao and the others to take care of his home. He still had a lot of precious stones at home. In addition, he also asked Lin Hao and the others to patrol the fish pond in the mountains from time to time, also need to go at night. He made more than 200,000 RMB during his time in the Chen village, and if he added the unsold stones and the fish fry he invested in the fish pond, he made almost 500,000 RMB. Chen Haoxuan and Chen Haorong's bet was to earn 100,000 RMB in 1 year, and now Chen Haoxuan has earned 500,000 RMB in 1 month, far more than what they bet in terms of time and quantity. Chen Haoxuan should have taken hundreds of thousands of RMB now to avenge his humiliation. Why didn't he do so? In fact, Chen Haoxuan thinks so. He will not do it, and he will make it big, and he will not humiliate Chen Haorong. He wants to make Chen Haorong and his family, himself feel very lame. Chen Haoxuan wants to make money, he wants to buy a car, he wants to build a villa, he wants to leave Chen Haorong far behind him. When he went back to Xinchen City, he didn't ride his motorcycle, he gave it to Chen Yubin as a benefit. Chen took a bus to go back, and as soon as he went back, he met Zhou Kexin and her friends, Yang Lin and Lu Junfan. In his newly rented warehouse, and all his friends from the university in Xinchen City were there. In the warehouse Chen Haoxuan rented, Hua Lingwei couldn't help but hold Chen Haoxuan's hand as soon as she saw him and said, "Chen Haoxuan, you are really great." When Chen Haoxuan was in the Chen village, Hua Lingwei basically paid attention to Chen Haoxuan every day, either chatting with Chen Haoxuan or with those businessmen who cooperated with Chen Haoxuan, asking about Chen Haoxuan's affairs. In can often hear those businessmen praise Chen Haoxian is a genius in business. Chen Haoxian is she introduced to them, which makes her feel very accomplished. "Oh, this is all thanks to you. Without your help, how would my development be so smooth?" If it wasn't for the fact that Hua Lingwei used her identity to introduce many businessmen to Chen Haoxian, I believe Chen Haoxian's development would not have been so fast, unless he took out those technologies from the future century to sell. "I don't have any, I'm just pulling a strings for you. By the way, you said you have a gift for me, where's my gift?" Hua Lingwei stretched out her small white hand and smiled. Chen Haoxuan took out a human-shaped stone from his satchel and handed it to Hua Lingwei. "Here, this is my gift to you, see if you like it." When she saw the exquisite statue, she couldn't help but exclaim, "Wow, Chen Haoxian, where did you buy the statue? It's so exquisite." Chen Haoxuan smiled mysteriously. "You take a closer look at the statue's appearance." Why do I feel that the statue looks familiar?" Hua Lingwei's voice. Zhou Kexin stuck her head over, and when she saw the statue in Hua Lingwei's hand clearly, she felt sour in her heart. She was very jealous of Hua Lingwei. She had seen clearly that the statue was simply Hua Lingwei. The carving was so lifelike, as if it was printed from the same mold. The carving was so similar, it must be that Hua Lingwei's status in Chen Haoxuan's heart was not low. Zhou Kexin faintly reminded Hua Lingwei, "The one he carved is you, of course you feel familiar." "Yeah. It's me, isn't it? No wonder I feel so familiar. It's so beautiful, I like it so much, thank you Chen Haoxian." Hua Lingwei was delighted, and on the spur of the moment impulsively, she even patted her heel and quickly kissed Chen Haoxian on the cheek. After the kiss, she regretted it. How could she be so impulsive? Chen Haoxian is the boy that her best friend, Zhou Kexin, likes. Hua Lingwei turned her head to look at Zhou Kexin next to her, and sure enough, Zhou Kexin had a straight face, looking jealous. "It's just a sculpture, no need to be so thankful." Chen Haoxian smiled. On the other side, Chen Yuna and Zhou Kexin had similar expressions. She was also jealous. She grew up with Chen Haoxuan. She had a crush on Chen Haoxuan for many years without ever kissing him. She was jealous, but also admired Hua Lingwei's courage. "Your hands are so clever, you carved this stone exactly like me." Hua Lingwei's shyness, Chen Haoxian gave him a stone color all white, and looked like a holy relic. The company's main business is to provide a wide range of products and services, including a wide range of products and services, including a wide range of products and services, and a wide range of products and services. Chen Haoxian once again took out a small bamboo from the satchel, which was a small flute he had made by hand.